I was really curious how folks were doing. And again, I study human performance and resiliency, and I reached out to folks and said, okay, how are you? What do you feel most of the time? And the number one feeling word that they reported back to me was they said, Robyne, how I feel is done. So I got really curious, what is going to help people feel the strongest when they're going through uncertainty? And the number one thing that we know makes the biggest difference is if we can help people reconnect with their energy. Their energy again. We got to get excited. We got to get our hopes up again that the futures are bright. And the clue on how we can generate energy is a practice called empathetic attunement. And we feel overwhelmed when we are alone in a big feeling. But as soon as someone shows up in our world and says, hey, do you want comfort or solutions? You do not have to walk this alone. What happens is the body interprets that support with the notion of possibility. And as soon as our body feels the possibility that we can figure this stuff out, we all of a sudden get the energy to do just that. Doing research in this area for over 20 years and teaching at the university level for 20 of those years, the question I used to ask was this: why do some people give up when it's hard and other people will give up and get up? What is that difference? And at the time, a lot of folks were talking about grit and hardiness and toughness. But then I got to go into the world and met some of those resilient people on the planet. And when I saw their stories and talked to them, they would say so often, Robyne, I don't feel very strong. I don't feel very gritty. Yet somehow they were able to persist. And when I asked them, how did you do this? The number one response that I would heard back was so powerful. I did it because life didn't give me another choice. I did not ask for this. I did not sign up for it, but I knew people were counting on me. What we discovered when we met with those people and they shared their stories is they were able to do it because they all had 5 things in common, what they leaned into. We call this the theory of everyday resiliency because it's what we do each and every day that will set us up for success. Having a home team, someone in your corner, being able to make what matters most matter most, work within your controllables, have a hope strategy, and a wee bit of fun in the process is absolutely how we can get through the most uncertain, difficult seasons of our lives. I do get a wee bit nervous because this is what folks love to reference me the most for. So I want you to imagine a body of work over 20 years in the making, and people like to take one thing that you said and run with it. We learned, you might like this, I think you will actually really like this, we learned that people who swear, who cuss or curse not at somebody, it needs to be more of a free-floating adjective style. You follow me? I feel like your group knows exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah? People who swear live longer. Yeah. What we learned is it had to do with temperament. On one end, we have what we call free flowers. Those are the people that roll with things. They learn the art of not taking things too personal, and they just kind of adapt. Versus on the other side, we have what we call the bottlers or the brewers who like to hold on to every little irritant, every little stressor, every little offense. And then what we think they like to do is to wake up between 1 and 3 a.m. and think about them. And what we know, eventually that starts to erode the nervous system, which impacts our immune system. And the gentle piece I tell you, if you feel that life is heavy or hard, that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means you have a life, right? Life is hard. That's part of the story. The work that you do matters. You will never know the impact of the work that you do, but you are part of people's stories, and you also have a story. And my gentle invitation is to recognize there will be difficult hours. There's going to be hard seasons, but you're very well equipped to do the hard work. And when we come together in communities like this, and we give people what I love to call generous assumptions that people are doing the best they can with the tools and the gifts and the talents that they have, we can come together and we can do some very, very great things. So when I think about all the work that each and one of you do for your unique communities, and the fact that you show up even when it's hard, but you show up and you care, for that I want to say thank you for your service. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Enjoy the rest of your conference. Thank you.